Who that nation? How you doing? Come on in. Take a seat. Sit back. Relax. Put your feet up. Grab a drink. And let's talk Saints football. Y'all know what time it is. Time to keep it real. Let's go. How you doing? Come on in. I'm Dog 17.
Legendary Coach Rock in the building.
We want to welcome everybody to the Keeping It Real Who That Sports podcast. But tonight's a very special night. Tonight is our introductory of a new format, a new segment called OTS, Other Than Sports. Tonight we'll be joined by Mr. Russell Kelly. He's an author of Daddy's Cry 2. Mr. Kelly will be joining us in a few minutes. So, Coach, before we get started, won't you tell the family, man, what made you want to come up with this concept?
Well, I had just recently talked to Russell, man, about some issues, and I had been kind of following him since he did this book. And the thing that really grabbed me in the book was that he was talking about men and how men don't know how to really release their anger, how men keep stuff bottled up. And just like his book says, Daddy's cry too. We cry on the inside, man. We cry that silent cry that nobody really hears because we don't know how to release it. We don't know how to let it out. And I think Russell gives a really great insight on how men should be able to release their anger, how they should be able to talk to their peers, their wives, their girlfriends, to other people, especially in the modernized world we live in now, man. You see so many husbands, boyfriends, every day on the news, kill their whole family, kill themselves, because there's so much pressure that they have built up inside of them, man. We don't know how to release that. And I thought this would really be a good opportunity to step away from sports tonight and really deal with this issue, because this is a real big issue that's going on in our country right now, especially with Afro-American men, man. It's a struggle for us. And it's like, we constantly getting stabbed in the back by so many different entities, so many different ways, man. And we don't know how to, release what we feel. We don't know how to talk about what we feel, and we channel it the wrong ways and through the wrong thoughts and through the wrong concepts. So I just thought this Dolph would just be good just to step out of sports, man, and just let Russell come in and just listen. And to our panel, to our audience, man, feel free to come in, ask questions, because I really think this help us. To our sisters, this could be helpful to you with your husbands, your boyfriend, even your sons, to understand them better and help them also. So I thought this was a real good topic that we all need to dive into tonight and just talk about, Dolph.
Right. Doing a little research, and there's an article that I found in medical news today, and it deals with men's health, and it's a condition that men's mental health. It says it's a condition that is often overlooked, and it goes into how mental health issues affect us as men. No matter your race,
Right.
your creed. You know, as men, we're looked at to be a certain way. We look to be macho. We're looked to be the provider. We're look to be the problem solver sometimes. We have a fear of showing any sign of weakness. So yeah, man, it's going to be a good show.
Right.
I want to thank everybody for being here. Robert Kelly, Robert Campbell, how you doing? Come on in. He's here. Uncle Jerry, how you doing? Come
Uncle
on
G.
in. Thank you for being here as usual. And right now, family, we're about to be joined by the man of the hour, the one and only Mr. Russell Kelly is going to join us right now. Let me get me.
I keep it real,
Let
family.
me get you in there. Give me 1 second, Russell. I'm getting you in there right now. Let's see. There we go.
What'd you say, Russ?
I want to welcome to the show, my brother. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
No problem, man. Great night. Been looking forward to it. It's something that's needed, man. You know, as I was talking to someone today at work, you know, our wives, girlfriends, sisters, daughters, they have a sister circle that they can confide in, but us as men, sometimes that's too mushy for us. That's a sign of weakness, you know. And a lot of us are afraid to show that vulnerable side of us, that emotional side. You know, sometimes it's looked upon as a weakness for you to show any kind of emotion unless it's dealing with sports or something like that. You know, but
Mm-hmm.
in the real world, it is looked up as being weak. And again, Russell, we want to thank you once again for taking the time out to be here. And look, man, it's an honor, man. Coach.
Nah, man, this has been my childhood friend since 5 years old. Small in stature, but great person, man. So I'm not going to introduce him. I'm going to let him introduce himself to our listening audience. So none other than Mr. Russell Kelly himself.
Hi, I'm Russell Kelly. I always start off with I am the father of a 34-year-old severely autistic daughter, Jade, Brianna Kelly, and I have 2 other sons. My background is accounting. I like to tell people I don't have a degree in social work or psychology. I'm not a therapist, but I've experienced pain with the experience of 34 years of my daughter being severely autistic. And like Coach Rock said, we've been friends since 5 years old. I'm 57. He's 57. Going on 58. He probably made it by now. I don't know, but I've always tried to be true to whomever and whatever I do, and I always like to start off with pain. Mental pain doesn't care how old you are. It doesn't care what color you are. It doesn't care what gender you are. It doesn't care what religion you are. It doesn't care what caused mental pain, and it doesn't care who caused mental pain. Mental pain is mental pain. And like the brother was saying earlier, many of us as men, as Black men, we hold our emotions to ourselves. We don't expose our vulnerability when it comes to pain, mental pain. And I've been on this journey, be it via podcasts, via live streams on Facebook, talking about the mental pain that we experience and we should talk about as men, as Black men.
Hey, Coach. Go
Yeah.
ahead. I'm trying
So
to get
Russell, let me ask you this: what inspired you to write this book, man?
Believe it or not, one of my sons was home. Job was home from college, and he was at NOAA, a lifeguard, and he texted me and asked me. He called me Pop, and he asked me, say, Pop, have you ever thought about writing a book? And I said, no, not really. It crossed my mind a couple of times, but I never decided to do it. He said, well, I'm currently reading Iceberg Slim's book, and your life is far more interesting than Iceberg Slim. You should write a book. And so I started writing. And once I started writing, I started realizing I started releasing my pain. I started understanding why I was going through pain. I started understanding what was causing my pain. And I made a lot of mistakes in life. I destroyed parts of a lot of different people that loved me, I loved in life based on my pain. And so the reason why I wrote my book was to start the healing process and to release the pain, but more than that, prevent the next brother or sister from making the same mistakes I made because of pain, inner pain, mental pain.
Okay.
So you say along the line that you destroyed relationships because of the pain that you were going through, and you did mainly it was because, and let me know if I'm wrong, because one, it a sense of, first of all, self-denial that there's actually something wrong with me, and secondly, um once you came to the reality that it was something that you had to deal with, how was that for you when you basically, i'm I'm assuming, had to look at yourself in the mirror? And because sometimes the hardest person to be truthful about and to show and to point out that person's flaws is the person that stand you back in the mirror. So I'm just
Exactly.
wondering how that was for you.
Well, the thing was,
Excuse
I
me,
used to,
Russell. Excuse me.
yeah.
Before you go, your audio, it's a little bump. It's a little scratchy. I don't know if it's something on that you can do.
Um,
It's very
well,
important that everybody hear you, man.
I have the earphones on. Well, I don't. I have my AirPods in.
Okay,
It's
okay.
just, yeah, and that's the reason, because otherwise you will hear background music.
Gotcha,
Well,
gotcha.
yeah,
Okay.
and that's why I
Okay,
have it. Yeah.
okay, okay.
Sorry, but the thing is, well, I was always angry, and I was always frustrated, and therefore that energy I forced on the people around me.
Mhm.
Um, like my lady used to always ask me, why are you always mad? Anything make you upset so fast? And I didn't take ownership of what you're talking about. I didn't take ownership of it. I thought something was wrong with everybody else, or you are just being too sensitive, or you just don't understand what I'm going through, when I didn't understand what I was going through myself.
Right.
So therefore, I didn't take ownership of my my shortcomings. I didn't take ownership of my pain. They say you place the blame on everybody else.
Right.
I didn't accept the blame myself. Like you say, looking at that person in the mirror, I didn't accept the blame myself. But until I started writing my book, I started writing. I started writing down and actually seeing the mistakes I made,
Okay.
and and that's when, again, that's when I started taking ownership to it, because like I had a conversation with Rock. At one time, it was like I didn't believe in God. It's like, how could I be going through all this pain and there's a God? How could my daughter be severely autistic and there's a God? I once told my brother Lester, uh, basically, F God. I don't believe in no God. I wouldn't be going through what I'm going through. But again, it's because I was running from taking the ownership of my own wrongdoing. I was failing to take the ownership of my own inner pain. And like I've done a lot of things in business. I was successful in business, but I really couldn't enjoy the success because I only was doing it because of the pain. I don't know if that makes sense to you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'll give an example. I was listening to Deion Sanders, and he spoke about, you know, he stole bases and he hit a triple and he ran a punt back, but then he sit on the bench and tried to put pills down his mouth because of in pain or what have you. So again, I can't speak for him, but I was successful in business and I was savvy in business, and I hunted down contracts and what have you because I was running from the pain. I didn't take ownership of the pain. So yes, I had the business intellect and the education and the experience of business to be successful, but that is not what you know. They say you have muscle memory.
Right.
Like
Right.
you could be driving from work and you don't even think about where you're going, and you realize you're home because of your muscle memory. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you do it every day. You do it every day. So that's how I was in business, and that's how I was going through my life. It was just normal because of my business skill set, my education, my experience. It was automatic for me. But the thrust and the get up and go that was pushing me wasn't that muscle memory of business. It was the pain pushing me. I was running away from the pain, and I had never taken ownership of the pain, and I was blaming everybody else for my pain.
Okay.
So let me ask you this, Russell. And I heard you say about the pain, and you realized it in writing your book and what you
Right.
were feeling. So for a brother who's out there, how do you realize that, or how do you come to the realization of how to face this, and then either talk to someone or just emotional let it come out?
Uh, here's my opinion of how you start the healing process. Write down what you like. Start writing. It was good for me. It was therapy for me. Start writing down what I like, what make me happy, what I don't like, what doesn't make me happy, who I like, who I do not like, who make me happy, who does not make me happy. So you have a blueprint there, basically. Then you go to why I don't like this. You follow me?
Okay.
Why I like this, why I don't like this. All right? And you're going to be writing out your blueprint. So then once that happens, talk to somebody about who you like, who you don't like, why you like that person or that thing or that whatever it is. And so now you're painting a perfect picture for yourself. So then you have to, the next step that I would do is write down, like you write down why, like I say, why you like, why you dislike, whatever. Then what caused? Remember, I keep talking about pain. Pain doesn't care. You see what I'm going? Pain doesn't care who caused it, what caused it. Pain, inner pain, mental pain doesn't care if you're black, if you're white, if you're male, if you're female, if you're Muslim, if you're Pentecostal, if you're Catholic, if you're Baptist. So again, you are creating a blueprint to give you, like the brother say, looking at that man in the mirror. You're looking at your mirror right there. You're looking at yourself. You're looking at what's causing your pain. If you write it down and be authentic and be true to yourself, right? So then once you write that down, you can talk to somebody about it. So that's when the emotions start coming out. You follow me?
Okay.
When the emotions start coming out, the more you start talking about it, the better you're going to feel about it. The more your spirit, in my opinion, and that's what I experienced. That's when my soul started, I was hard. I wouldn't cry. Like I made a statement, I didn't cry at my mama's funeral. I'm the baby of 5. I didn't cry at my sister's funeral because of the hardness. I hadn't gone through the process of why I was feeling this pain, what was making me feel this pain, who was making me feel this pain. And the who, believe it or not, was my daughter, who was an innocent person. But writing my book and taking ownership, I found out who was giving me the pain. It was my daughter, not my daughter, but my daughter's diagnosis. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
So that's my suggestion to the next brother or sister. Write down who, what, when, why, where this pain, you feel a certain way, good, bad, who make you happy, who make you sad, what have you. And you've given yourself a whole blueprint.
Gotcha. And just to piggyback off what you're saying about writing things down, I'm gonna speak for self. It's because I've had, and I'm still working on it, but my temper, my attitude was just bad. I'll go from 0 to 1,000, not 100, but 0 to 1,000. And the thing was, when you say sit down and write down what's causing you that pain, maybe there's some who felt like I felt, where I really didn't know where it was coming from. So when I did attempt to sit down and write it, I really had no idea. I'm thinking like, why am I angry? Why am I always so quick to go from a calm manner or a healthy adult conversation to blowing the roof off the house? Or it in my younger days, it was so bad that I would literally destroy things in my house, not realizing until some time that everything that I destroyed in that house, I would have to replace. And when I did figure out one of the things that was triggering my anger, it was something I had to live with for over 29, 30 years. When I figured out, it was that I was missing and I was angry because my father was not there. He was not there, not because he ran out on me, but in a sense, to me, he did. My father, everybody knew me. My father was locked up for 29, 30 years. Everybody around his age, late 50s, 60s, they knew who Dolphy was. And my father's being locked up had more of a effect on me that I even realized until he got released from prison. And I was able to sit down man to man, face to face, and just tell him, dude, I'm angry with you. I have a lot of anger towards you. Well, I had a lot of anger, but over the years, over time, some of that anger has succeeded. But there was still that I just felt cheated, put it like that.
All right.
So I felt like I was cheated, out that opportunity to have my father. Now, we all grew up in the same neighborhood, same area.
Yeah.
So I had uncles who were those who stepped up as male figures in my life. I had older cousins and things like that. I had stepfathers, but they really weren't the type of people that took the time even to get to even know me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so I just felt like as a young man that, damn, I would love to would have had my father come to take me to football practice or come to my games or, just take me, hey son, come on, let's go. Let me take you to the park. I mean, I think about things like that, and now with sons of my own, with my oldest son, it's hit and miss because me and his mom are not together. So I love my son, but as a young man, as a kid, it's hard for him to understand sometimes, like why daddy can't be here or do certain things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, I know
If it makes any sense.
it
And
does.
and in the house, I have a young baby boy who's here that I feel like I don't do enough things with, you know. So I have to find that balance right now in my life for my kids, and I have daughters, and I'm hard on my daughters like I am on my sons.
All
Um,
right.
and that's from my upbringing because my things, I don't want my daughters to be soft. I don't want my sons to be soft.
All right.
I don't want them to be taken advantage of or fall for anything he or she or they may say, but to think things through because I was always I was the skinny kid. I was the small kid. I was the butt of jokes. I was the so that was a lot of anger too.
Yes.
I was always ready to fight. We had a thing y'all know used to call tap out. Play
Yeah.
fighting, but they wouldn't do it with me because it was gonna go to a real fight. Because and these was from my friends who really knew me. And I mean, look, it's just like when you sit down, man, and like I said, it was hard, man, to look yourself in the mirror and tell yourself, you know, this is why I'm feeling that, or I failed here with my daughters. I failed here with my sons. Now, what is the alternative? Shrivel up in the ball and say, That's it, just give up." Nah, because I'm not made like that. So I pick myself up. I'm improving, but like what I've learned is every day of our life, every day that we're fortunate and blessed to wake up and have another day on this earth, I have an opportunity. We all have an opportunity to become better individuals, better
Yeah.
fathers, better husbands, better brothers, cousins, sons, co-workers, everything. And so that's what I try to do every day is try to become a better person and try to set a better example for my loved ones and my friends.
Let me say this, just to piggyback off what you just said. Every day I post something positive on my Facebook page. And as I said on Wednesday on my live stream, I'm going to live by this. And you can adopt this. Like you say, every day is a new day, and you failed, and we all fail. I say now, my future need me, my past doesn't. Make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
My future need me, my past doesn't. You can't change your failures in your past.
Right.
You can't change your wrongdoings in your past.
Right.
You can't change the time you spent with your oldest son in your past. You can't change the amount of time you spend with your youngest son in your past. You can't change the way you deal with your daughters in your past, but you can do it in your future.
Right.
You can do it in your future. And that's what I live by going forward is my past don't need nothing from me. My future does. And your future is your kid,
Right.
your wife, or your lady. That's your future.
Right.
Right. Right. Right. All right.
Think about that.
Yeah,
Your,
that,
your,
that's
your,
that's
your, your, your past is your,
nothing. Yeah, nothing I can do about it. It's
it's
gone.
done.
That's time that's gone that never get back.
That's right. Tomorrow morning at 7:53 a.m. on April 15th, it's gonna come and it's gonna go. It's not. You can't And what you do, the breath you took, you can't get that breath back.
Right.
But you got the future, 54, 754 coming, 755 coming. And that's where I look at my life now going forward.
And it's crazy you say that, Russell, because I found myself at one time, man, and I really thought I thought I was about to, God was about to take me on, whatever. But I started looking back to my past, and I even like how crazy it sounds. You will get on Facebook and just trying to find people that I felt I hurt in the past,
Mm-hmm.
and just try to reach out to say, "Hey, I'm sorry." You know, I felt bad for what I said. I felt bad for what I did you, and I just want you to know that I'm not really looking for you to accept my forgiveness, but I want to apologize as a man because I felt like I did you something.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think it was for me, for my conscience to say, hey, I'm sorry. If I hurt you, and I know I did, I'm sorry as a man. Just want you to know that. And I wasn't looking for a response of the forgiveness, but I think it was just more for me as a person, just to admit that and say, hey, I'm sorry for what I did to you in the past.
That's right. That's right. And another thing, again, post today, I post about my body has a soul, but my soul doesn't have a body. So when I speak, it's not my body speaking, it's my soul talking.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when you talk about the forgiveness, your body did certain things, but now your soul is atoning what you did.
Mm-hmm.
Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the way I look at it. And once you've made peace, your soul should be at peace. You
Right.
reached out, they may not give you a response, but
Right.
your soul is at peace.
Right.
And that's how I look at things going forward. Because I did the same thing a while back. I like, if I've ever hurt you, you felt I disrespect you,
Right.
whoever you are, I'm here to atone.
Right.
Please accept my apology.
Right.
And then I was at peace with it.
Right.
All right. Now, there was a article that I found, gentlemen, that says that when we as men grapple with overcoming obstacles that we're faced with, that they seem sometimes insurmountable to deal with. So I'm sure there's a lot of gentlemen out there, a lot of guys that are dealing with that, dealing with some type of obstacle. Obstacles are going to come up in our life, no matter what it is. I mean, it could be family, it could be the job, it could be health.
Right.
Some type of obstacle is gonna come up. And so the thing that I'm learning that I do have now, I do have a circle of family that we all can sit down and have meaningful, straightforward, uplifting, sometimes in your face when you need it, conversations. You know what I'm saying? And unfortunately, some of us do not have those avenues to release what we're holding in and what we're feeling. A lot of times we hold in feelings from the past or things that we've done in the past, and we're walking around carrying that luggage with us, and it's weighing us down. You know what I'm saying? And the hardest thing for someone to do, for a lot of us sometimes, is to forgive yourself. It was even a time where I felt so bad in my life that I didn't even think I was worthy of even praying to God or even trying to go to God in prayer.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And like I say, over time, man, it's over time, it's overgrown, and it's also about what I'm starting to understand about if you want to grow as a person, it's also about surrounding yourself with positivity, people who are on the who are who are doing positive things, who are always trying to strive to do the right thing. We all are imperfect, so we all are going to stumble. We all fall. There's no perfect human being walking this earth. I don't care. They could be the nicest person in the world. This couple could seem to have the perfect marriage. It doesn't matter. They can have all the money in the world. Everybody walking this earth is imperfect and do things that they shouldn't, things that they regret. And I'm just thankful that I had that avenue, but there are some of us out there who don't, and it's because of the, like I stated earlier, it's because of the emotional side. No one wants to be seen as weak. No one wants to reach out to those in their circle who may not have the same, may not have the understanding or be equipped to handle how they're feeling. And us as black men, and this is for men and men in general, period, don't like to talk to people about our problems. You know what I'm saying? I'm a man. I'm supposed to handle my own business. I shouldn't have to go to another man to, for him to talk me through whatever I'm going through. You know what I'm saying? I shouldn't take my problems to him. And then sometimes your mind will click like, okay, if I take this to him, the day will come when they'll take what I'm bringing to them now and turn it against me and throw it in my face. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so that's just some of the obstacles that I personally have dealt with, and I'm sure there are some others out there that are dealing with that.
Let me speak on that. I'll start off with, I have sayings that I say to myself, and in regards to the struggles you just said, talked about, I say once my struggles stop, my strength becomes obsolete. Once my struggles stop, my strength becomes obsolete. If I don't have struggles, there's no need for me to have inner strength, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if I don't have inner strength, I can't handle my struggles. So it's yin and yang, it balance each other, right? Another thing is everybody can't afford a therapist.
Right.
But not everybody, but most people, you have to seek somebody that you trust to talk to. Let's throw that out. I threw it out the window. Whereas, you can't keep, how they say insanity is what? Keep doing the same thing.
Over and over, a different result.
So as a people, as men, we shouldn't, what we thought, we shouldn't talk to somebody about it because we come across as being soft and what have you. But where that get you? Nowhere.
Right.
And then, and if you're not in your right mental state, you do things that you can't take back, you can't change. Some people wind up incarcerated behind it. Some people wind up, I'll give an example. There's a guy, he's a producer out of Texas. I did my first podcast with. And I heard him on another podcast. And he made a statement. He gave two different situations. Two of his very good friends, best friends growing up. One used to work with a female who went with that female to help her move her stuff out of her ex-husband's house or boyfriend's house, apartment, house, whatever. She started playing and acting like they were a couple when they weren't a couple. The boyfriend beat that guy and killed him with a bat.
Wow.
She didn't talk to nobody, or she probably talked to people. Her boyfriend or ex-boyfriend probably didn't talk to somebody. You see what I'm saying? So, but look, you have a dead life, a life is gone.
Right.
Then you have a life is gone because he's in prison. But then, like I say, pain, mental pain, inner pain spread like cancer. Everybody who's connected to those two men and her are in pain now because they lost.
They lost, right.
So we can say we're not going to talk to somebody, but look what the end result can be. His second friend was dating a woman, actually dating and in a relationship. This guy was actually in this wedding, he said, in a relationship. Went back to get some stuff from that house, got into a fight with the ex-boyfriend. The ex-boyfriend friend shot him in the head, killed him. So again, two men, one dead, one incarcerated. The woman life is messed up. So again, we can say we, as men, not supposed to talk to somebody, but if it keep building up, it's going to explode. So we're going to have to throw it out the window. We're going to have to throw it out the door. And we start by what we're doing now. What the three of us doing right now. Talking about it.
Right. It's needed. I want to share an article with you guys, man. This article here I found on I think it's, let me make sure, let me blow it up a little. Is that too small for you guys, or can you see it?
I can't see it.
You can't see it? Let me try to enlarge it here.
If you could read it off.
Yeah. I just read it off.
Yeah.
It's tough right now. It talks about the different influencing factors as far as what triggers a man and a woman to do certain things. It says, for example, men issues often stem from societal expectation and traditional gender roles, which may lead men to think that they must be the breadwinners in the family, display traditional masculine traits such as strength and control, rely on oneself and not seek help from others, which we just touched on, and not speak openly about their emotions. Holding on to these beliefs can negatively impact men's mental health and keep them from accessing support and treatment. Get y'all thoughts on that.
You go ahead, Rock.
Now I'm listening to you, man. I'm gonna listen to you on that one.
Well, the thing is, again, that's the old sense. That's the old school of thoughts, in my opinion. And follow me with this. Everything changed, everything evolving. What we're doing now, how we're on this podcast with the three of us, is different, right?
Mm-hmm.
We couldn't do this a few years ago, 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 20 years ago. We couldn't do it, right?
Right.
And walk with me on this one. Even with autism, my daughter was diagnosed 32 years ago. There are different services that's available now for autistic kids, right? Families used to shun, and some still do, but families used to shun and hide autistic kids. They're autistic kids.
In the back room.
They don't do it as much now.
Right.
As a matter of Wednesday, I had a young lady, 37-year-old young lady on my live stream who has a 4-year-old son. And if you go to her Facebook page, you will see how her family has corralled around her husband, and that kid. Why am I saying this? I'm saying this because that was the norm in the past. We have to change that today, going forward. What I said earlier, my past It's my past. I don't owe anything to it. It doesn't owe me anything. I owe everything to my future. So that is true. That is true. That article is true.
All right.
A year ago, 5 years ago. But we have to change that narrative today, starting today, by doing what we're doing. Am I making sense?
Yeah, you make it
Yeah,
sense.
you're making a lot of sense, man.
You know what I'm saying? So, like I say, we have to evolve, or we're going to continue to fill the prisons.
Right.
We're going to continue to pay the second line bands to play at our repasts. You feel me?
I feel you. I understand. I'm with you on that. Hey, we got a comment.
Yeah, I was just the number one Saints fan. I was just looking
Yeah.
at that.
Yeah, number one Saints fan. Come on in. Says I am listening on speaker here at work. I have 6 men that have joined me in listening, and they are still here. Not a single word, just
Just
say
continue shaking of their heads up and down.
up and down. Yeah, man. Listen, brothers. I mean, like you said, Russell, this is definitely needed, and the stress, because stress is real, man. You know what I'm saying? Stress, and it's a true statement, man. Doctors continue to say it, and it's true. Stress will kill us, man.
Yes.
Stress will kill us. Stress will drain you. It will have you lackadaisical. It'll have you trying to figure out, like, question yourself. Like we spoke earlier, like you may go off for something that's very small, and then once you calm down and you think about it, and you realize, I totally handled that situation in the wrong way. What I just exploded about and went off about was so insignificant. It was nothing, and I made it bigger than what it was. But why? And that's what goes back to what you were talking about earlier. We have to find out why.
Mm-hmm.
What is triggering me? Why am I getting angry over the smallest thing? Why am I going from 0 to 100 to 1,000? Why? And that's just something else that came. And also in this article, fellas, it says that the difference in seeking help. It says men are far less likely than women. Let me get that on screen for everybody. See that? It says that men are far less likely, than women to seek treatment for issues such as depression, substance abuse, and stressful life events, according to the Mental Health of America. And they say that it is due to 3 reasons: social norms, a reluctant to do what we all are doing now, talk, and downplaying their symptoms. Like you said earlier, Russell, no, it's not me. Y'all just don't understand me. There's nothing wrong with me. Y'all just not seeing what I'm seeing. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And we got a brother coming in. Eric, how you doing? Welcome to the show.
What's going on tonight, Joe?
Doing good, my brother. How you doing tonight?
Doing all right.
What's your thoughts on the conversation, my brother, that we're having? What's your thoughts? Anything you'd like to bring up that we may not be touching on at the moment?
I was just listening to some music because I got singing class tomorrow, so I've not really been here all that long. So
Okay.
So Russell, let me try 2 questions. First question, by this being a sports podcast, and I want to direct this at the young kids. As a coach on a recreation a park ball level, and as a coach, the first part of the question, part A, is, as a coach, when you see this anger in a young kid, how do you get him to kind of talk about, you know something's going on, because you see the changes in practice, you see his demeanor, you see the changes that come about. So how do you reach him to kind of open up to possibly you, or if not you, a brother, somebody else, even at an early or young age?
Good thing you asked that. Again, based on the streams I've been doing and the podcast, a teacher, a male teacher, told me a couple of days ago, now he look at his students, his little students who are the little athletes, different now when they act different now in the classroom, just like at practice on the football field.
Mm-hmm.
My suggestion is start off by asking that kid in a likable way, and you know your athletes, you know their personalities. Ask them how their day started that morning. What you did this morning when you got up. What did you eat when you got up? All right. Did your mom or your daddy bring you to school? How did you get to school? So you're going to learn. You understand what I'm saying? You're going to start tracking what's triggering that kid. Then once that kid feel comfortable enough to tell you about what they ate for breakfast, I like what you wore to school today. Once they start feeling comfortable, then they're gonna slip and they're gonna tell you something that, yeah, but such and such happened.
Okay.
So they're starting to open up to you. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
Because I like to give these little cliches. Another thing I always talk about, two different things. My grandfather used to always say, if you see a pile of smoke, and every now and then, a pile of trash, and every now and then a piece of smoke come up, and it goes away, then smoke come up. If you dig down deep enough, there's fire. That's causing that smoke to come up. That's the kid acting out. But you got to get down to the fire. And you befriend that kid. He or she has respect for you because you're their coach. But you make them feel comfortable by showing them that I care about what you ate this morning for breakfast. I care about what you ate for lunch. Mm-hmm. I care about what you wore to class when you got up. Why you wore that? What would you like? Oh, I wore this. What you like? They're going to feel more comfortable. And then they're going to say, I want to put on my shoes, but my mama didn't do this.
Okay.
Now you're getting to where that pain is coming from.
Okay.
Make sense?
Gotcha.
And remember, I always use this scenario, whereas if you have a blister or a pimple.
Right.
And the more the fluid builds up in it, your body fluid, the more sore it gets. But once you pierce it and that fluid start coming out, it shrinks. It heals.
Right.
That's the talking. That's the writing. Make sense?
Gotcha. So staying at that, now we move up to the high school, college level. Would those same principles apply themselves?
Same principle, but just a different conversation.
Okay.
When you show someone you genuinely care about how their day went, what they ate for lunch, what they ate for breakfast, what music they listen to, it's like, oh, this person, they may not come out of us, like right up front, but it's like, oh, they're going to feel comfortable. And they're going to start releasing more and more to you, in my opinion.
Okay.
And they're going to, because that pain is in them, they want to get it out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And but again, remember I said you start off writing what you like.
Right.
What you don't like. What make you happy. Right? What make you mad. Then I said what? Who make you happy? Who make you mad?
Right.
And you get everything you need.
Okay.
I answered your question?
Yeah.
That's a process. Like I say, two different people, like I said, a school teacher, and believe it or not, another school teacher, a female school teacher, told me the same thing. Now I look at my kids, my students, different. I used to like, boy, sit down. Boy, because of them. But you dig down deep enough, that's because they're dealing with some kind of internal pain.
Okay. Okay.
We got another comment from Trey Big Bro. Trey says a lot of men are raised by single parent homes and don't have a balance with their mental health and don't know how to subdue their passions like men because until they get around a coach, they're lost. And you two gentlemen being coaches, what do you think about that statement? Thank you, Trey.
I'm gonna let you go ahead, Russell.
All right. You know the saying, it takes a village to
raise a child.
A kid.
Yeah.
Some things you can't control, in my opinion. Some things, just like when you said your daddy was incarcerated. Again, that's the past. And it's not being harsh, but it's like, I can't change that kid who's a teenager now. I can try to start working with that kid who's a teenager now. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, but I got to find out, in order to solve a problem, you got to know the problem.
Right.
So with that teenage kid, you got to get to know that teenage kid upbringing.
Right.
A year ago, 6 months ago, a year ago, 3 years ago. And the only way you find it out is if you talk to that kid. You don't talk to that kid just based on that football field or that basketball court or that baseball diamond. You talk to them about their life. A lot of the star athletes coming out of college, I've heard made statements. I chose this school because we didn't talk about nothing about football. The coach recruiting me didn't talk about football. We talked about life.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about what goes on outside. And that's how you get to that teenager. That's how you get to know that teenager. That teenager, like kids are innocent, brutally innocent. But they're not going to, in my opinion, they're not going to open up to you until they feel that they can trust you.
Right.
They feel that you care about them. You care. They feel that you believe in them.
Right. And just to piggy off what you said, man, I tell a lot of guys now, we don't need no more coaches. We got plenty of coaches. We need men that's going to help develop these young men and help them grow and nurture them, man, to teach them how to be a man and how to deal with issues, So, yeah.
I mean, how many raw athletes we came up with? Just raw. They can play anything. But like you say, what about the single parent female who's raising them?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? She only could do so much as a mother.
Right.
But again, my past don't need me.
The future does. All right.
We got another comment from Trey. Trey says if they can't psychologically twist the mind, social. Help me out with the word, fellas. I'm sick. No pride. I'm asking for help. What's that word, man? Pronounce that word, Rock. You got glasses on. Help.
Social. They attack us through the food with pesticides and preservatives, causing a shift in the human nature and basic principles in thinking.
I like how you just went over that word too.
Yeah. It wasn't important. It was.
but man, about what you was talking about, man.
Yeah.
Psychologically twist the mind through food and pesticides and preservatives. Right now, everything today is fast food. If you think about it, remember coming up, grandma would be in the kitchen, cooking that hot meal. Every Sunday was a Sunday dinner. I can remember because I was raised by my grandmother. I can remember waking up 5:30, 6 in the morning on a Sunday. She's in the kitchen. You can smell that food, that aroma. I remember family members coming over after church or later in the afternoon to have dinner, to come and get them a plate, or just people in the neighborhood. And the people came and cooked from a place of love.
Mhm.
Now today, it's everything is just fast, from how we get our information. Everything about this world now is fast. It's right there. It's I need it now. I want it now. But nobody, a lot, I ain't gonna say nobody, but a lot of people do not want to take the time to learn the recipe, gather the ingredients, you know what I'm saying, and cook the meal, if that makes any sense.
No, 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 no. Let me say this also. If you notice, like you talked about, the mustard greens, the stewed chicken, smothered pork chops, candy yams, the
Sounds
mac
good
and
right now.
cheese, right?
Right.
Right.
We still want it, but we don't want to take the time to prepare it. So where we get it from? We get it from the corner grocery stores,
Mm-hmm.
and we're cooking it in their kitchens. But who the money going to?
Right. Right.
All right,
Right.
that's number one. And number two is now you see the grandmothers, the older women in there buying it for their dinner when they get home, because everybody's working,
Right.
right? Let's go a step further. Not only that, the foods we're eating, the fast food kids are eating different. I be in the market with my book on Saturdays and Sundays, French market, and a guy I've been knowing for a while. I was like, man, what's going on with our youngsters? You know, with all this killing and breaking in cars and doing this and doing that. You mentioned about cooking with love, right?
Right.
He said, well, so think about it. He said the music we came up on was about love.
Yeah.
Look at the music they coming up on, what it's about. So it's all goes hand in hand,
Right. Right. It's all going into that pot. Yeah.
the way we have been molded.
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Yeah. All right. As far as, I do agree that to a certain extent that music does have an influence, but even back then, man, in y'all day, y'all older than me, so I'm gonna say y'all day, like y'all that much older than me. I'm gonna say y'all day. You know what I'm saying? There were just, it was music, there were songs that said certain things that you knew what they were talking about. It's just, I was coming up in the 80s and 90s, it was like we just said it. It just came out, and now it's just,
But I don't think
it's on
it.
the air. What you think, bro? Go ahead.
I don't think it was explicit.
Yeah, it was, man.
The words were different.
It was
I mean,
explicit. Well, hold on. We talking what depending on what gender we talking. We talking about the 80s, 90s, and what?
Let me be more specific.
Okay.
Every song, most songs now that those generations listen to is kill, bang bang, disrespecting women. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Look at Maze, Earth, Wind, and Fire, Kevin Tam, even Kevin, whatever the guy name.
Tevin
Can we
Campbell.
talk? Can we talk for a minute? Whatever. It's a different era, and it goes right along with everything else. It all goes together. That's why it's like we're going to a certain place in a basket, because I mean, 10 years from now, who's going to be our leaders when we old? Who? Not from what we see now.
There are a lot of young men and women who are doing the right thing, who are those leaders of tomorrow. We just don't know who they are right now.
No, well, we have kids. Me, my lady, we have kids who are going to be leaders. But what I'm saying is, they are 15% of the people in this world are leaders. 85% are followers.
Gotcha.
And not to get on the political tip, but they're trying to take care of the democracy, take away democracy. So that 85 is not going to exist.
Right.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is, it all starts with what we're doing now. Open dialogue. Hoping we can reach some of that 85%, because the 15% will be good.
Right.
That 15% is going to be good. We all know or akin to 15%. We all have kids who are the 15%. Right? But that 85%, and that 85%, and that 85% is who's being infested. That the pesticide is affecting, that the music is affecting. Don't care.
That's true. No, I'm not.
That's what I'm saying.
I got you. I think it was Miss Howard saying. I just think that all music is not bad. I understand where you're coming from, but for the most part, where the music today, what you're saying, that's it. Because sometimes I even joke with my middle daughter, because she knows basically all the songs that we grew up on in the 90s and the 80s. And my thing to them is, I feel sorry for y'all generation. Y'all don't have, who do y'all have?
You're right.
You know what I'm saying? Who do y'all have? I mean, we can make a list and go down to people that were musicians that made music, real music. And so my thing to them also is, think about this too. When we were coming up, Saturday, you look forward to Saturday mornings.
Yes.
Saturday mornings were big, man. You can be in your pajamas, you can go get your bowl of cereal. You could sit down in front of the TV, watch your favorite cartoons.
Right.
If it was the Super Friends, if it was I don't know, Felix the Cat or Woody Woodpecker or whatever, Speed Racer, whatever. You know what I'm saying? You can watch all of those things.
Roadrunner,
Flintstones, the Jetsons, and about 11 o'clock though, in our community, you know.
So
everybody, there you go. Everybody got to go in the house because you know Soul Train is on. So you got your style from Soul Train.
That's right.
You got the latest dances from Soul Train. You know what I'm saying? So it was a whole, like, Saturday was the thing. And then after you do all that, you go outside and you hang outside all day. You play.
Mm-hmm.
And if you did go in the house too much and the AC was on, you used to get that, you know that talk you get.
Yeah.
Shut my door, you're letting all the air out. I'm running in and out of my house, because if you run back, you go stay in here. You know that you used to get those talks. And then in the summer, let's say Harrell Pool wasn't open. And for everybody who's not for where we from, Harrell Park is a playground that's in our neighborhood, that's in the Carrollton area of New Orleans, Louisiana, and a lot of kids, a lot of us have come through that. A lot of your favorite athletes, musicians, and everything have come through that park from the New Orleans area. So let's just say we couldn't go to the pool. Man, listen, somebody go get a monkey wrench, somebody get a garbage can top, turn on the water hydrant, put the top under it. You got everybody coming outside. Moms used to come outside, grandmothers sit in their chairs. You got the corner store open, everybody's running in the water. You on your
You got water balloons.
You got water balloon fights and everything. Now all they would do is sit in front of their phones on TikTok and Instagram, playing video games, which ain't nothing wrong with it. You know, I like to play Madden and stuff too, but dang, go outside and play. You know what I'm saying? Go outside and play. I haven't seen kids play a good street football game in my neighborhood since I moved here. You know, it used to be a thing. I mean, it was a big thing to play football in the neighborhood. And you were playing against the, you know, let's say the front,
blocks.
the front against the hole. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The front will come
Yeah.
against the hole. We playing basketball. You know, it was a pride thing. You know what I'm saying? You get all the parents out there and stuff, man. It was a big thing, you know. So it just a lot of things there that we've been talking about tonight, man. That some things that I think this generation is missing, but there are a lot of good things in this generation too, man. I think because of the technology, man, these kids are further along than we were at their age. I think a lot of them are more social conscious and more social aware than most of us was. That's just some of my thoughts, guys.
Since we got talking about the kids athletes, I always tell kids, people this. Aeneas Williams, Hall of Famer, Harrell Playground. The reason why Aeneas Williams can check somebody, was able to check somebody or cover somebody, because in the street playing football, you couldn't tackle nobody. So you had to be able to check them. You know, you run around the corner and they throw the ball between the house and the light pole.
That's right. That's it.
I mean, over the house. I mean, all you could do is look back for the ball. Right. Most kids, the Saints players, defensive backs, the reason why they get beat and get called for interference, because what? They don't look
back for the ball.
But when you playing in the street, on Green Street, on Eagle Street, on Hickory Street, you know what I'm saying? You got to look back for the ball, or you can get burned. And what happens? Nobody wants you on their team.
On their team,
they never pick you.
Right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So again,
man, y'all bring me back, man. Shout out to the scouter site, baby. Y'all know how we used to do it.
Back in the hole.
Yeah, they in the hole, baby. That one play. Look, go out and run the Julio, the corner store, and I'm gonna throw it to Julio. Go catch it.
Yeah.
So Dolph, you want kind of open it up and bring some people in and let Russell get a few questions before we let him get out, man.
Yeah, man. Let me anybody want to come on and speak to Russell? I'm putting the link in right now, family. Please come on.
And Russell, while we doing that, man, why don't you tell everybody where can they purchase your book? Where can they find your book or wherever at?
All right. My website is www.daddys, DADDYS, cry, CROY, 2, TOO.US. Not .com, but .us. And okay. I'm in the French market on Saturdays and Sundays, the French market. But the thing is, out of 3,000 books, I have only like 25 left. So it'll be another 2 weeks to a month before I get more after that 20 is gone.
Okay.
Yep. That's a great question right there. Russell, I'm gonna let you stab at that one first, then Coach.
There's a question.
It says, how would you, number one Saint fan is asking, she says, how would you restructure today's boys and men's way of thinking in terms of we can work together to build a dynasty, and once established, we can go our separate ways and continue to build a conglomerate?
All right. When you say together, you're talking about as a couple, as a business, or what? That's my question.
That's a good, because she said, how would you restructure today's boys and men's way of thinking in terms of we can work together to build a dynasty?
Maybe I think she's talking about in all facets of life, business, sports, whatever we come together to do.
All right. Well, we have to think of the way of saying, if you go alone, you go fast, but if you go together, you go far.
Gotcha.
So in order to build the dynasty, and I'll use myself as an example. I like to speak from my examples. The way I would get the next male and female kids or adults to think is, I did everything on my own. I'm not talking about without God's grace, but as a man, I did everything on my own. And that's why I didn't go as far as I could have gone and I should have gone. Make sense?
Okay.
So the thing is, together, your strengths may be my weaknesses may be your strengths. So if that's the case, we can go far, because when you're weak, I'm strong.
Okay.
All right. And when I'm strong, you may be weak, so we can go further. So the thing is, we have to put aside egos. That's the mindset we have to have.
All right.
We have to think that you're no better than me, I'm no better than you. We're just different. Right?
Okay.
The thing also is, a ship has only what? One captain. Right? So
Yes, sir.
someone has to take the lead, but they have to be a leader. But also a leader is a good listener.
Right.
All right?
Right.
That's the only way we're going to go far. All right? Then finally, the mindset we have to have working together before we spread part is, every ship that leave the dock has what? A destination. What is our common goal?
Mm-hmm.
If we don't have a destination or a common goal, that ship will never leave the dock. You'll stay stagnant.
Right.
If we have more than one goal, that ship is going to go in different directions,
Right.
but never meet the destination. Once we meet that destination, just say if we sail into Africa, right? Once we get to Africa, you can go where you go, I can go where I go, and teach the next
Mm-hmm.
one. You see what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
And that's how we spread.
Right. And she goes on to say, but today's problem is you are my adversary and my competition. And also, money is truly the root of all evil, and we can't stand to see another doing better.
And she's on point. I posted a few days ago, whereas they may say they want to see you succeed, but not before they're successful. So everything she's saying is correct. But again, I go back to my past. I don't owe anything to it. It doesn't owe anything to me.
But my future.
I owe everything to my future. So you can't change the mindset of everybody.
Eric,
Change them.
I'm sorry.
If you change the mindset of one,
Mm-hmm.
and that one may change the mindset of another. And those, like you say, it's like a pyramid.
Right.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So
Right.
we're not going to change everybody's mindset all at one time.
Right.
But if we use the concept of my past, I don't owe it anything, it doesn't owe me anything, I owe everything to my future. That person that she's talking about, or people in general, we have to start somewhere. Like I said, that ship leaving that dock has to have a destination.
Right.
But in order to get to that destination, what it has to do, it has to start sailing.
Right.
And that's the thing, is we do envy. I mean, we do. Yeah. Again, everything she's saying, I posted days ago. Sometimes envy is hitting in compliments. Jealousy is hitting in compliments. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Money is the root to all evil. But everybody can change. But it goes back to, if you know why, what. You understand?
Feel you. Yeah, I understand. I'm following you.
We got you.
Yeah.
Hey, Eric, do you have a question for Russell before he gets out of here, my brother?
No, man, good.
All righty. All right, family. Let me see. Trey Big Bro says when I was like 15 or so years old, my father told my brother and I that it's gonna be real crazy when you turn my age. And he thought our music and food was crazy then in the early 90s. Yeah. I mean, I remember Too Short. My cousin used to be in the driveway, put the speaker on top of the car. Too Short favorite word. I ain't gonna say it right now, but y'all know. Blasting that
Yeah.
off. Two Live Crew, Uncle Luke now. You
Yeah.
know, so it started with us, man. It
Right.
just done evolved, bro. I'm sorry, it done evolved. Well, look at here, Russell, man. Once again, man, I want to thank you for taking the time out, man, to come on tonight. It was truly an honor, my brother, and
Thanks
man,
for having me.
man, you family, man, and you
Right.
welcome back here anytime, anytime, anything you want to come on and discuss. Just let us know, man, and we'll make it happen, man. Coach, you got anything?
All right.
Nah, man. Thank you so much, Russell. Like I said, man, I've known this guy all my life. And I just sent him a text a couple of weeks ago that, I've always looked up to him. He's always been solid. Like I said, Russell was just that person you knew were going to do big things in life. And like he says, we can't look back. We just got to look forward, man. And if we look forward, we press forward, we all can make a difference. And we all could help somebody on this journey, man. So let's just keep pressing forward. Thanks again, my brother. Love you, man. Appreciate
y'all,
all you
man.
do, bro.
Love y'all, man. And I always end with pain. Like I say, pain. Pain doesn't care what color you are. Pain doesn't care what race you are. Mental pain doesn't care what gender, doesn't care what religion, doesn't care your age. Pain is pain. But we all need love to live. And love is greater than hate. Thank you all, my brothers.
Always.
Love y'all, man.
Always. Same to you, my
Always,
brother.
man.
Appreciate you. Ladies
All
and
right.
gentlemen, let's give it up for the one and only Mr. Russell Kelly. Thank you, Russell.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right.
All right.
All right, Coach. That was a beautiful segment, man. I really enjoyed that, man.
Yeah,
That was
man.
something else.
You know,
That was awesome.
what was your thoughts? What is anything that you personally may have gotten from our discussion tonight?
Well, from the comments, I've learned that some people aren't lucky to have two parents, and
Right.
that a lot of people they aren't lucky to have two parents.
Right.
Have
gotten from. It was a good night, man, Coach. First of all, I want to thank everybody who joined us in the chat, and also for everybody who's watching this on replay, who's going to watch this on replay. We thank you. If it's your first time, we ask that you like, subscribe, and share tonight's show with those your loved ones. Look, even if you don't subscribe, it don't matter. It's not about that. Tonight was about us coming on and talking as men and understanding the realness of mental health and the things that we as men, no matter race, creed, color, age, or whatever, deal with in this world, in this society that we live in. Again, it was an honor to have Russell on here. Man, it's an honor to have Coach Rock as my co-host, man, and my friend. Like I call him Big Brother, and I mean that. I want to thank everybody in the chat, man. We say family, man. That's how we feel. We look forward to coming on every Wednesday, Friday, Sundays, whenever we come on, man. To hearing from you guys. What you say matters to us. It's not about just what we say. Like what we say is gold. It don't work like that. And we realize that, and we want to thank everybody who has been rocking with us from the beginning, and those of you who have just joined us on this journey that's going to get better as we go on. So
Oh,
with
yeah.
that being said, y'all know how we always get out of here. Love and who that.
Who that?
I would say something for you, E, but you're a Seahawks fan, but you're still a fan and we love you. Who that? And we out.
Who that, man?
All right,
Talk to you later, my brother. We
All right.
out.
all right, buddy. Talk to you.
Keeping it real, who that sports pod, legendary coach Rock, Go 17. Let's rock. Who that? Boss kick, black and gold. Let's go. First and goal from the one. Best believe we go punch. Punching in, get them punch. With them Saints, watch us march. Down the field, down your throat. Keeping it real, who that sports. Breaking news, interviews, open lines just for you. Call in, join in, Pale Nation, just win. B.I., Mount Zion, Coach Green, oh my, CJ, JV, Trick or Trade, Jose. Keep it real, baby. Keep it real, baby. Keep it real, baby. Keep it real, baby.
Ladies and gentlemen, here we come right back at you with part 2 of 3. Rebirth Brass Band. Give it up for the band, y'all. Give it up. Give it up. Can't hear you. Check this out. Bring it down. Bring it on down with the focus down on
Thank you.